A former senior official at City Hall has condemned the Mayor's administration over its attempts to prevent young black men becoming involved in violence. Ron Belgrave has lodged a formal complaint with the district auditor. He says the approach was superficial, unserious and seeking to do as little as possible. The Deputy Mayor for Policing denied the allegation, saying Mr Belgrave was a disgruntled former employee. Here's our special correspondent, Kurt Barling.
In the autumn of 2008, Boris Johnson launched his Time for Action plan, which promised to tackle serious youth violence, which he recognised disproportionately affected black teenagers. Ron Belgrave was responsible for managing the plan. He now alleges a combination of improper conduct and racism hampered it and the flagship mentoring programme from the start.
Once the Time for Action document was published on the 3rd of November, the commitment to doing anything serious about the problem ended on the 4th of November. It was like the box was ticked, put that in the drawer, let's move on.
By mid-term, Mr Belgrave says Mayor Johnson was concerned the commitment to the Time for Action plan and prevention was being openly questioned in black communities. He established a Mayor's Expert Advisory Group to revitalise the plan by focusing on engagement with those black communities and a flagship mentoring project.
This is a newish project. We're dealing with deep ingrained problems, and learning as we go is part of the process. What we refuse to do is to sit back and put our hands up like cowards and say, do you know what, just too difficult, because BBC London might criticise us from time to time.
1,000 black men for 1,000 black boys was the ambitious aim of this mentoring programme. Mr Belgrave says he always believed the choice of contractor hindered the programme from the start.
It appeared as if Londoners, and in particular black Londoners, were being offered a second-class service.
Ron Belgrave is saying that because he didn't get a job, and Ron Belgrave was supposed to be in charge of it for 3 years, so if there has been a failure, it's his failure. You know, critically, as I say, these are difficult young people. We think it's worth trying to turn them around.
A lack of commitment has meant this hasn't happened, says Mr Belgrave. Meanwhile, the problem of youth violence has continued to escalate.
In effect, we've had 4 years of human misery. Young people being killed, blood on the streets, injuries, psychological harm, fear in communities that could have been avoided.
The truth is, we made a massive commitment to youth violence, both on the enforcement and the prevention side, working with some very, very difficult young Londoners, and we've made some progress.
350 young people were expected to have mentors by the election. Roughly 100 pairings have started. The former manager's complaint will now be investigated by the GLA's monitoring officer before being considered by the district auditor. Kurt Barling, BBC London News.